Well, am I recording? Sure enough. Well, this is part two. The thing about the low-tech nature of the Grottu Orloff program is I record this with an iPhone, and if someone calls, like my wife just called, it ends the program. So that's what happened. But now it's going to be two parts to this, and that's okay. So most people can't sit through a whole hour video. I noticed most people don't. I also noticed that we got the neighbor's gas bill, so I walked the gas bill over to the neighbor. I noticed they took their flag down. They put it up last Saturday when Biden was elected, and well, they took it down now, and so did the people about 3 or 4 houses down on the other side of the street. Now I'm the only person that has flags up. I have those kind of circular banners, whatever you call them. I've had them up for years. So some people love the country, and some people are just happy that their guy won. And we'll see if he won. Probably, who knows what's going to happen. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I sure hope that Trump pulls it out, but oh well. I lost a subscriber. I had 113, it went down to 112, and I think it's because I mentioned liking Trump, or maybe it's because of my new cigarette habit. Maybe I've disenchanted. I don't really smoke. I just think it's funny. I like to make fun of cigarette smokers, or really, just, I guess I'm just envious that it looks so cool. Really, cigars and pipes look even cooler, but I could never be a smoker. It just seems so incredibly stupid to do it with all that science knows. Oh well. See, there's sure a lot of Democrats that smoke. I thought they relied on science. Alright, so at Duncanville Books, which is my favorite of the local comic book shops, I believe that people call them LCSs, local comic shops. Well, it's not really that local. I have to drive quite a ways to get there, about half an hour. It's real close to Oak Cliff, which was a bad neighborhood even when Lee Harvey Oswald lived there. And it's, you know, questionable area, but it seems somewhat safe around Duncanville Books. Anyway, picked up a bunch of stuff. They have $2. They have a whole room full of $2 comics and magazines, right? And then they've got collector's comics that are 25% off. Then they got collector's comics that are 50% off the marked price. Then they got the whole back of the store are $5 comics. And then they've got the super deluxe collector's comics that are the actual price marked. And then they got another room full of current comics, like the new stuff that comes out now, and it's marked whatever, and you pay that. But I first was looking at the $2 bin, and I remember picking up from DC Comics back in 5th grade or 4th grade the first issue of Tor, Joe Kubert's Caveman Tor. But I know I don't have issue number 2, and this is issue number 2, and it was for $2. I picked it up. And a Charlton comic, Timmy the Timid Ghost, number 14. So, that's obviously a Casper knockoff. I don't think you need to know that. Tippy Terry, obviously a Dennis the Menace knockoff. And it's from Super Comics. I don't think I have this particular issue of Atlas Seaboard's Tiger Man, number 3. And the clerk knows it's a $2 comic because of the blue sticker. It's all color-coded. Pick this up. This is when Jack Kirby was doing, in his later period after he came back to Marvel, was doing the covers for just about every Marvel comic, but just cool to see a Kirby back to Thor cover. That Wilkin boy. That goddamn Wilkin boy. What will he do next? And it's number 7, for those of you that Can't wait to go to mycomicshop.com and order a copy. And the Three Musketeers, which goddamn, this is one of the things that got me into comic books. That early right about 1970, they started reprinting this title. And I got a Super DC Giant reprinting of the Three Musketeers, which is really a 50s comic. And I loved it. I didn't know it was old. I didn't know it was from the 50s. But this is an actual shit. Well, this is actually part of the reprints. Actually, I'm fooled because it's 15 cents. So this is when they were reprinting the 50s stuff. Because if it was the 50s stuff, it would be 10 cents. So this is just an issue I don't have. It's a reprint, original. I still enjoy the Three Musketeers. Great art, great fun. And Spooky, the tough little ghost. Audience likes that one. And goddamn, 91. See what they do? When you get old, you know, comics aren't really meant for old people like me. See, when you have that color background and then you put black ink on it, it's really hard to read that number when you get to be old and decrepit. I was just reading about Rima the Jungle Girl earlier today. I remember buying the first issue of Rima the Jungle Girl from DC, and I think I have a couple of issues of it, but these are just something I don't have. And what I didn't realize is that Rima was actually an older creation that goes back to like 1907 or 1909. This is a character that is almost as old as Tarzan. This is I didn't realize that. I thought it was something that DC created in the 70s to you know, kind of be like Sheena or something, but apparently it's an older creation. Fascinating trivia that you can learn here on the Grottu Orloff program, ladies and gentlemen. I get so many ever since I joined Parler, I get all these notifications that keep popping up at the top of my screen, just non-stop. I gotta figure out a way to turn them off. Here's Jughead number 217. Love the dress that she's wearing. Of course, Jughead is all about food of any type. Oh, but look at this cool psychedelic cover for Jughead number 179, the 15 center. Isn't that great? Get the DJ or the just controlling all the psychedelic lights. Put a tiger in your tank. That used to be the old ESSO. E-S-S-O. That was the first word I learned how to read. So we'd be driving down the street and I would recognize ESSO. Now ESSO, they may still call it that in South America, but now here in this country they call it Exxon. But back when I was a little kid, it was ESSO, and that was their advertising campaign. Put a tiger in your tank. And then you could buy these little tiger tails to hang out of the little door of your gas input tank. And like tigers in there, powering your car. Binky's Buddies. This is, of course, a DC Archie knockoff. Number 10. Here's number 11. Oh, I had to get this one. Archie's joke book from '93. It's just such a great cover. It's just that outfit that she's wearing. Even though there's a, you know, chipped corners missing there. What will CGC say about that when I slab it? Well, I don't know. Betty and Veronica, Archie's Girls, Betty and Veronica, number 140. When I alphabetized this, I used to alphabetize it under B. Then I started alphabetizing in Archie, because Archie's Girls is really part of the title. And then that keeps all the Archie, more of the Archie comics kind of together, and you're alphabetizing. Oh, and those are all $2. This is also $2. I may actually already have 2 copies of this, but this is something important to my childhood. I bought, this was Mad I bought from the rack back in April of '71. I would have been 6. I remember going up to my mom and asking her if I could buy this there in the little bookstore attached to the PX in Heidelberg, Germany. And I remember her being outraged at this cover. It just really upset her that she thought this was disrespectful to the United States. So, of course, it's very appropriate now with all the weird Democrat shenanigans going on. Yeah, what was it? Nancy Pelosi and Schumer came out yesterday and they said, what did they say? It's an absurd circus. And then Schumer called it shenanigans, what the Republicans are up to, trying to make sure that the Democrats are honest. But anyway, obviously, I guess she let me buy it, but she was pissed off. I don't know. Somehow I got it, and now I'm gonna, this $2 copy I'll put out in that magazine rack in the hall. That's that. There's more though. Let's see what we got here. Trying to remember what things. Oh, this red or orange sticker means 50% off. So this was half the marked price, and it's Captain America number 128, where he's fighting a biker gang. And then, hold on a second. So, hold the phone. I got this in partnership with this, which I may already own, and this is Hulk 150, and this was from the $5 bin. That's why it's got a green sticker. But he's tearing these bikers apart, and then Captain America's beating up bikers. So, you know, if I ever have a comic book wall, I could have like a biker, you know, killing bikers section. So that was that. Okay. Okay, so out of the 25-cent off rack, I think, yeah, now this issue, I've never had it, but when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I got a t-shirt with this cover on it. Marvel did some t-shirts, and they had this one, they had a Submariner where he's up against Dr. Doom. I had that one. I had this one, and I had one with the Hulk where it's kind of a light blue cover. He's kind of going like this, and there's all these villains or something all around him. I don't have that one either. And so anyway, I don't have the shirts anymore, but I'd like to have the original comics, which obviously is better. Anyway, the shirts obviously don't fit me anymore. And then I got a few issues of Fear, number 7 with a November 30th, 1971 date stamp. This was from the $5 bin. And then I had the first few issues of Adventure into Fear with Morbius, the living vampire. And look how small the name Morbius is. But the living vampire is giant. That's what he was more marketed as, is the living vampire. And this is 25. So, I don't know. Might as well. I saw him there and I figured maybe I better get him now, because if this movie comes out and it's successful, if we even have movie theaters when that's supposed to come out, then the prices may go up on these. And then I got number 26. and they're in okay condition. But again, they called them living vampires because they were still a little nervous about the comics code had been relaxed a little bit and allowed monsters in. And for years, they really weren't allowing vampires and zombies and mummies. They weren't allowing the undead. So Marvel was like, the living vampire. And then when they did the Mummy comics, it was the living mummy. Some lawyers thought, that's what we'll do, I guess. There's issue 28. This cover is kind of really cool and crazy. All right. So that's that. Then also from the $2 bin, Wanted #1. Wanted is a comic that reprints supervillain stories from the 60s and 50s. Maybe Golden Age too, actually. Here's #4. Here's #7. Oh, tomorrow there's going to be 3 different marches going to Washington, D.C. of Republicans. I'm going to be getting the popcorn out to watch that. Wanted #8. Wanted #9. I remember picking up when I was a kid the first issue of War is Hell. And it had new stories, but it looks like then they and this is the second issue. I never got the second issue. And that's cool. It's just a great cover. Oh, another issue of Wanted, #3. War is Hell #6. Yeah, like I say, they're starting to buy up all the toilet paper and the paper towels. I didn't know if they were clearing out the water. I've already got about 8 big cases of water. And I bought another toilet paper, and I think we're stocked up. I don't know. What Trump was just on television saying that the vaccine's pretty much ready, and that it'll be going out for free to every state except for New York, because the governor of New York doesn't trust Trump's vaccine. So he said, when the governor says so, we'll send it to him, but he doesn't want it right now. So there's that, and he said he's not going to be doing any lockdown, that it's more dangerous than the actual virus. But I think that Biden may be leaning towards that, and actual mandating masks everywhere you go. Now they're talking about Thanksgiving, you better eat outside, and you can only have a certain number of members of family over, and this kind of thing. Ridiculous. Here's I have some of these Tandy Computer Whiz Kids. This is from Radio Shack. I didn't have this one. I'm sure Metarog's got all these. They're pretty plentiful around these parts because the Tandy Corporation is based out of Fort Worth, and oh well. Wendy the Good Little Witch, #62. Look for me on TV, although I never really see many cartoons that actually have Wendy in them. Usually when you see the Casper cartoons, they're the older ones, Paramount cartoons. But they did do cartoons with all the cast from the comics. Here's TV Casper and Company, #28. Again, these are all that I'm showing you from the $2 bin. So is this. This is in condition I would normally turn up my nose at. I don't like the crease going down the center. I don't like the fact that the spine is not cut squarely. As far as the comics, it's not cut right. But I just figured for $2, I just want to read this. You know, you don't see that stuff that often. Oh, it looks like by issue number 7 of War is Hell, they started reprinting Sergeant Fury. And number 8 also reprinted Sergeant Fury. I just think it's kind of cool. Combination of the War is Hell logo with Sergeant Fury, the heads on the corner, making it look kind of Justice League-like. But that's the haul. It seems like when I put the word haul in the title of a video, I get more people viewing it. When I put key issue in, it doesn't get quite as many. I was listening to people in the other customers in Duncanville Books, and someone was saying, yes, of the key issues that I have, this and that. So people like to use that term, key issue. God damn! So, fuck. It's alright. I don't know. I've got 112 subscribers. Maybe I can get some more soon. But if not, I'll continue to provide entertaining content to you for the next generation or so. This guy that Biden's hired to head up his coronavirus task force is Rahm Emanuel's brother, and he's a eugenicist. He says people really shouldn't live past 75. He says, when I turn 75, I'm not going to get any more physicals or anything. He says, that's a good age to die. So he basically kind of Logan's Run. Well, it's not quite Logan's Run, because Logan's Run was age 30. The original book of Logan's Run, I think it was age 20 that the government, or the computers that ran the government, forced everyone to die. But yeah, not really cool when someone that everyone's thinking might be the president is hiring eugenicists. But what would you expect from a Democrat? Filthy Democrat, motherfucker. You know how them Democrats are. Oh, look, latest previews. Oh no, it's August 1999. I'm sorry. I got all kinds of shit around here. What was popular in August 1999? I don't know. Comics were pretty shitty back then too, it looks like. Oh wait, maybe this is the newest issue. No, it's November 1999. Oh look, Chewbacca. Oh my gosh. Imagine 1999. Before 9/11, before the pandemic. People were worried about whether their computers would continue to work on New Year's Eve, which was coming up pretty soon. People were panicked about that back in November of 1999. I don't throw anything away. Eventually, everything becomes cool. Even I found a receipt for a bill of sale from an old record store in an old some of my brother's stuff, and it was for, he bought some 8-track tapes, and it was at Disc Records from 1976, and now that's cool now because enough time has passed that it becomes cool. You know, even an old can of Coke, it gets old enough. Wow, it's cool because it's old. And who would have thought an old issue of previews would be cool? But I guess it is. Just like cool cigarettes. They're refreshing, man. Refreshing. People that smoke are motherfucking idiots. Don't smoke. Smoking is for motherfucking fools. Okay. Now, It's so hard to say goodbye. It's a Friday night, so that means my friend Gerald usually comes by on Friday nights. Sometimes we get pizza from this. It's weird. It's like this it's called New York Pizzeria, but it's not really New York style pizza. The people that run it are Albanian, and it's like this bizarre hybrid of cultures, and the pizza is really exquisite. And we oftentimes order from there. Okay, shut this down. Okay, then I shut down that, then I shut down my DVD player. Okay, then the lighting system. That goes, and let's see, the charger for the cell phone. Starting to get a little bit hungry. I'm getting some hunger. Goddamn, getting hungry around here. Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I get a big giant bag of this Burt Ward dog food. Burt Ward, Robin, in the 1966 Batman, produces this dog food that's very expensive, but it turns dogs into puppies. It's so nutritious and delicious that they love it, but it's like dog crack. They eat it and they start spinning around in circles and doing crazy stunts, and and it's supposed to make them live to be like 17 to 25 years old, supposedly. Yeah, but that's what Burt Ward is doing. I'll do a little review on that maybe next time, and I'll show my dog and how she acts after she eats it. Yes, indeed. Burt Ward. That's what he's doing nowadays. I don't know who sells it. I know they got it at Target. It's in these big, giant, really heavy bags, and it's like almost $40. What do you think of that, Rudolph? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you later.